Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. You want to find a position that's both sturdy and comfortable. And today, like yesterday, it's just a shorter meditation practice. It's only 10 minutes, so the position isn't as important. You just want to find something generally comfortable and sturdy. So, sitting in a chair, you can even lie down. Just find what works for you. And as always, this is an open eye meditation practice. We don't close our eyes here. But if you've learned to practice with your eyes closed and you feel more comfortable doing so, go ahead and do it. There are no hindrances. But if your eyes are open, drop your gaze away from the screen and drop your eyes gently down below you, looking at the floor or the desk or whatever is just below you. We're not staring or analyzing anything, but we're also not zoned out and blurry. We have a gentle gaze directed softly and clearly downwards. You're in a comfortable and sturdy position, and your eyes are either closed or open, gaze directed softly yet clearly downwards. Let go of the day so far. All the things you have planned and everything you've done already, just leave it alone. And also leave alone the idea you have about meditation practice. Your ideas and your wants and your desires about what you're going to get from this video, from this particular practice. Maybe you're going through something or it's difficult to do your daily activities. And you think somehow this practice will help you. As counterintuitive as it sounds, leave this alone as well. Just be here for no reason at all. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. And there's no one to become. Just this. Be here. But the command, be here, is really redundant because there is no way of not being here. Don't you notice this? No matter what you think about, where you go, no matter how fast you run, you are always here. And this isn't something to be obtained or attained. It's a fact about our experience. It's always now. Notice this. Notice what's here. Sounds, smells, tastes, color and shape, body sensations, and even thoughts. And even when you're anxious about the future, incessantly thinking about the future, that's all happening now. Nothing takes place outside of this moment. What happens when you allow this moment to therefore just be? What do you notice? You might notice a lot of thoughts right now, though. Or maybe you're having trouble paying attention to my words because you're competing for the thoughts in your head, wandering off about to-do lists, worries, and past experiences. When this happens, ask yourself, when do these thoughts arise? What is here right now? There are no problems to be solved. What is here right now? When there are no problems to be solved. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to become, and nothing to talk about. What's left? Can't you see how there's only this? And that's even saying too much. Just be here now. Allow this moment and completely rest. All right, you can look at the screen. There's a line Alan Watts uses, the philosopher Alan Watts. I bring him up before. If you know this channel, I talk about him a lot. But there's a line he says when he talks about meditation and why we should do it. And he says, if you talk all the time, you never know what anyone else has to say because you're always talking. And in the same way, if you think all the time, that is, talking to yourself all the time in your head, you have nothing else to think about except thoughts. You have nothing else to listen to. And because of this affliction, I would not call it affliction, but because of this ability for us to think to ourselves, and to contemplate and worry, and it's given us tremendous value. But it has its other side, its double edge, which is we don't know the difference between words and reality. We don't know that what we say about things isn't in its essence the truth because they're just words. In the same way that the menu, when you go to a restaurant, is not the dinner. The dinner you can eat and it tastes good, so you order a steak. But the description of the steak with even the little picture on it, on this thin piece of paper and with its little description, this little black letters, that's not the steak. But most of us live our lives eating the menu thinking we're getting the dinner. We've named the world through language, and we've forgotten that we've done so. And we therefore believe that language is what's real. And because we don't know how to shut up, we're bamboozled by language and thoughts. There's this poet. I'm not sure exactly where this quote comes from because I hear it from so many people, but there's a poet, I'll bring it back to Rumi, the Islamic poet, where he says, God speaks in silence, and everything else is just a bad translation, a poor translation. Now, I'm not religious or spiritual, but we can say it in a different way. Reality speaks in silence. This moment is silence. It's the original language. Everything else is a bad translation. Now, why is this important? Because when you learn to wake up from being attached to words, not thinking, but being attached to thinking, being attached to the names that we give things, when you leave it alone, you start to enjoy the feeling of a breeze on your face. The wonderful way the clouds wisp and whirl in the sky, and the colors of gradation and a sunset with the trees being silhouetted by the background. Or even the mundane weeds that grow from the cracks in the concrete or the markings on the drywall that have been there for years. It just all becomes this gorgeous moment. But rather, it doesn't become it, it already is it. You start to recognize that this moment is itself wonderful, just wonderful. When you stop talking about it, when you learn to just listen to it and see it, you're not separate from it. And it's your real home. And it's what you've been looking for. But if you're always talking, you won't see it. So practice. There's nothing else really worth more doing than to learn to leave your thoughts alone. Thank you for showing up today. And as always, and without exception, I'll see you tomorrow.